Mm. Yep. 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 Another good morning. It's obviously it's New Year's Eve, it looks like. Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. We got the normal moves in the markets that we normally get. Obviously, we have an up and then we have a down. You can put whatever news you want against that move and call it a coincidence or whatever you guys want to call it, but we get it every single day. Actually, I'm going to go right to the chart. We're going to look right at that move because that is just actually kind of almost some of the silliest stuff that I've ever seen in my life. Well, not silly because it happens every day. So let's go ahead. Let me share my screen here. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. Let's see. Boom. Boom. There we go. Perfect. So let's go over to the Bitcoin chart. Ethereum is actually holding up a little bit better, it feels like, than the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's getting so washed. This chart for the last 30 days, holy crap. So we've been sitting here. This is November 20th, 30 days ago. We go all these places, but if you zoom in, it's these moves right here. Boom. Okay, so down, boom, up, boom. This is all like same day stuff. Then go down, up, nope, down, up, and it's not like normal stairs up type of thing. Like let's go look at another normal stock after this. But of course, last night same thing happened. This is last night. We got a nice move up, kind of traded around sideways, and then of course this morning, boom, dumped down every single time, every single time, which is crazy. So I know jobs numbers came out, and I know that might be causing a little bit of the consternation, but I don't know. It's super odd. I think they're just right now Bitcoin's holding in a pattern. So if let's go look at any other chart and see if it does this. Let's go to like a normal. Oh, I have a stock chart up here. Okay, so these are more normal, like slow days down, slow whatever, slowly up, but not the huge up and the huge down days that we see in lately in the Bitcoin. So I'm not sure how much longer this will go on. I feel like this was end of the year stuff. I feel like it could be end of the year stuff. And I know last time I talked about the tax harvesting, how it was BS and all this nonsense because you could just buy your Bitcoin back. But that's not entirely true with the ETF. So maybe they were tax harvesting a little bit in the ETFs because they could tax harvest there and net some direct stock gains. So hopefully that's what they have been doing the last month. And then yesterday we actually had our first positive day of flows with Bitcoin, and it was every single ETF bought yesterday, every single one. Not a small amount either, 355 million. So I wonder if a shift is coming. Although on the 17th we had 457 million, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 negative days in a row on that. So we did have a positive day, which is a little bit of a win, I guess. $355 million, which is, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So hopefully that kind of continues. Let's go check out the ETH one really quickly. I don't know. The ETH has been doing very well lately. These are just such small things. So I think it's been kind of just chilling there. The big thing that I've seen with ETH is Tom Lee is still buying like crazy. I think I heard somewhere, or I don't know if it's real or not, but Tom Lee gets a huge bonus if he gets to a certain amount of percentage of Bitcoin ownership by the end of the year. So now they bought another 132 million in ETH last week. So now they hold $12.24 billion of ETH and $1 billion of cash. They hold 3.39% of the ETH supply. In order to hit 4%, Bitmine needs to buy another $2.2 billion. And I think he is. Let's see if I can go to strategic ETH reserve. I kind of want to see that. Strategic. Oh, it's not saved on this computer. Strategic ETH reserve. XYZ. There it is. Oh, there it is. Perfect. to get to 4%, I know he's been wanting to get to 5%, but I think if he gets to 4%, he gets a fat bonus as well. And so over the last 30 days, even while ETH has been like sideways to down, he's purchased 9.1. He's increased his supply by 9.1%. Is his MNAV really 0.62? That's kind of crazy. So that means, that's crazy. So that means for every dollar worth of ETH, you could buy Bitmine for 62 cents. But it doesn't matter because it's not like you own the ETH, like these ETH treasuries, even though there's that MNAV, it's not like you could actually go redeem it for ETH. If you could, that would be a bargain and a half. But that's a crazy MNAV to have or to see there. So basically they have 4.07 million ETH. They also staked a lot of ETH this week. So they're going to be starting to stake more of their ETH. I think that's the play. I think this is good for Bitmine because if they keep staking their ETH, they're going to be generating actual money for their, I guess, their fund, but not like it matters because I don't think they pay a dividend. Maybe they do pay a dividend, but I think, the owners of the fund or whatever, they get some money, and that's fine. That's fine. I think it increases the value of everything that they're doing, but their market cap. So basically, if he can get to 5%, they're going to buy another $2 billion. They have $1 billion of cash on hand, which is really good. I think Strategy's doing kind of the same thing. Let's go to Strategy. I wonder if this goes right to Strategy. Oh, here's the metrics, I think. So they have quite a bit of cash on hand. Yeah, I bet there's an error. I bet there's an error. So they bought a little bit of Bitcoin this last week. We didn't talk about this, but they bought a little bit of Bitcoin this last week. They also have, let's see their assets. Why is there an error on their page? Somebody needs to let MicroStrategy know that there's errors all over their pages. But I think they have a couple billion. They now have like almost 4 years worth of cash to pay those dividends for a Strife, Stretch, and all that kind of stuff. So they're in a pretty good spot too because they've just sold their, what's this? Negative yield. They're finally showing some. So this is their first quarter where they're showing negative yield. Interesting. Anyway, they have enough cash to be able to show that to all their homies, and they're chilling and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I think that's whatever. That's good. I guess that makes they're trying to get a better credit rating, and so they can go into different money markets and stuff like that. Speaking of which, sheesh, if we go down to, let's see, gold last night and silver. Oh my gosh, they took another hit last night. Which, I think they're going to probably normalize a little bit down here for a little bit and then probably pop back up. Who knows? But they took a little bit of a pop last night because, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the CME raised their margin rates again. And it's pretty rare. This guy said, I've been trading futures for 2 decades, seen volatility crashes and squeezes, but never seen the CME raise margins on a major commodity by 30% overnight. So they did this. Last time we had the show, we talked about this. They raised it. They raised it again last night. So this is effective today, but silver had gotten raised to 25,000 and now got raised another 30% to 32.5. So the second time in a week, silver got raised. Platinum got raised 25%. Palladium hiked 22%. So these exchange rates got raised aggressively. The fear obviously being that there's not enough silver to cover all this stuff. And so they're raising the rates so that you have to have more actual cash or actual silver to be able to hold the margin rates that you're having. So they're forcing longs to sell their positions. So that's why you saw the big dump in gold and silver. Silver fell another 10% last night, I think. It doesn't show it on this chart, but it fell. If we pull up silver, you can go over here. Dude, it was trading at $78. Let's see. First bump last night, 10%. Right now, it's only trading down about 8% from the little yesterday morning at 10 a.m. So right now it's about 10 a.m. Eastern. And so it's trading down about 8% because the CME raised their margin requirements and basically forced people to sell, which, you got to have money to play the game, I guess. But those people playing on leverage, again, this is where leverage starts to hurt you, is when you're playing all these games and all this stuff too. I was reading another story about a guy. They had bought silver at $50, but he bought a bar. It's like a silver bar. He bought a bar, and and then they left to Europe. But he had the silver bar with him. He's toting it around Europe. He's like, now I'm in a spot. Like, I got to tote this thing around all over the place. I have my silver with me, but he's a traveler. He doesn't like have a home or anything. It's like, I got my silver bar with me. I'm traveling all over Europe. But then, what do I do with this thing? He's like, it's only worth $5,000 or whatever it is. He's like, so do I buy like a $2,000 safe? Do I rent a place here in Europe while I'm traveling with my wife? Like, what do I do to store this thing? Like, it's so true. I mean, just dealing with the silver, it's like, I don't know. It's like, seems like such a pain to hold physical silver. But then if you're holding silver, the paper silver, and if you're on leverage or whatever it is, then you're going to get your leverage raised in the middle of the night, and then you're going to have to sell in the morning. It's like a whole mess. So the only reason silver is this high is because it's on a paper traded market. It can move like this. So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, so that was silver last night. It was pretty crazy stuff, but there's kind of a lot going on still in the market. It's crazy because we are over the holidays, and I know there's more anemic trading over the holidays, but the volume in Bitcoin and Ethereum, silver, gold has actually been pretty high. So I think this has been one of the higher traded holiday breaks that we've had. I think silver's going to go back to about 60, $50. I think it's going to drop back down and kind of normalize here in a second, but we'll see how that goes. Let's stop that screen for just a second. Move this over. Let me see what y'all are talking about real quick before I go on to my next little stories. You may have answered this. Is unstaked ETH to wrapped ETH a safe way to tax harvest? So I've heard both ways. I don't know. In crypto, what is your concern? Because you don't have a wash trade rule in crypto, so you might as well just sell the ETH and buy ETH back. I've heard, now this is the funny thing, because I've heard going from Ethereum to wrapped staked Ethereum is a taxable event. But then I also heard that going from ETH to wrapped staked ETH isn't considered a sell for when you're trying to do a tax. So it's like, then you kind of they want the best of both worlds, which is kind of silly because you can't have the best of both worlds. So it either is or it isn't. So I don't know on that, but the safer way just to do that is just sell your ETH and buy it back, because there's no wash trade rule in crypto. So I think you could easily get that taken care of, that route and stuff. So I think you'd be fine there. The other thing that I saw, your ETH is staked right now. Oof. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, if you're hit with a taxable event wrapping it, then it would work as a wash then, probably too. So you could wash it that way. That's what I was thinking. But I think my book got, who was it? Anyway, somebody mentioned that, it's not good enough for a wash trade, but I think it is. If it's a taxable event, then it's probably good enough. If you wrap it, it would be good enough for a wash, I'm guessing, as well. But who knows? Everybody this year is going to have a good tax year because everybody lost a lot of money, which is great. So if you need to have those losses and you net it against other income that you have with your stock, because the stock market went, I mean, if you look at the gains for the year, the stock market's way up. So then you can net your crypto losses against your stock. And now next year, hopefully crypto makes a move. The future value, Nick mentioned what you guys were working on. Yeah, but that's not going to be the hypercycle tokens. If you wanted to tax harvest those too, you could pop those out, tax harvest them, you could buy them right back. Same thing, Beth. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, according to the wash rules, I think you could sell your wrap steak ETH and just buy it right back, and then you're just good if that's what you want to, if that's what you need to do. Which I think is really silly because I don't know why they have that. It's easy to say you have to wait 30 days. They could have just said that. So I don't know. I guess whatever. I did kind of want to go look at just one more thing really quickly. Let's see. Probably before. Yeah. Oh, crap. Let me share my screen again really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. I hate it how it does that. Let me make myself a little smaller. Perfect. Okay, so this is the, if we go over to look at, oh my gosh, this is interesting. We haven't looked at this in a while because the liquidations have been really small, like 300 million every single day. We say that's small, but it's small because normally, we have like this $20 billion day, but now it's just been like, even these little bumps are like, this is a $2 billion day and you can barely see it. This is a $2 billion day, $1.6 billion day, and you can barely see it. And then now, over the last week, dude, things have been fairly stable. There hasn't been a lot of wipes. So I think something's going to be happening really quickly soon. But I wanted to look at this. I wanted to show you guys this stuff because this is the Bitcoin returns. This is the worst fourth quarter that, I mean, since 2018. 2018 was a weird year. But this is the worst fourth quarter that I've seen in a long, long time. So we've actually had, of the year, 2025 was supposed to be this great year. Everybody's supposed to do, this was going to be the best year. This is the year after the halving, right? So this typically would have been, if you believed in the 4-year cycle, this typically would have been one of the best years. But here we sit, actually completely opposite than the 4-year cycle. And that's why it's so like funny that people still believe in the 4-year cycle. But in 2021, so this would have been just like 2021, it had 100% gains in January. We had a drop in January. And then we had a win in quarter two. They had a drop in quarter two. Quarter three, both had wins. And then quarter four, we had a fat loss. Quarter 2021, they had a big win. Look at the year. The next year was a brutal year for if you're following the 4-year cycle. But the 4-year cycle, I think a lot of people tried to front run it just now. I think they thought the 4-year cycle was happening still. So they tried to front run it. In October when they had that big crash, they're like, yeah, I'm definitely getting out. But now we've stalled out here. And I think there's going to be some nervousness if we see any sort of a spike, any sort of a bump up. There's going to be some nervousness. And so I think there's going to be some internal struggles with a lot of people that are grappling with the fact that the 4-year cycle doesn't exist anymore because it isn't a thing. I mean, you can go back and look at business cycles and the way the business cycles have been trending, the PMI index, everything else. All these cycles kind of correlate together, but loosely. And they all change over time as well. They get bigger, like they get shorter. So the 4-year cycle just happened to just coincidentally happen a couple of times, in my opinion. And so now people believe it's like, that's the way it's got to be. So then if we go down and look at the monthly returns, obviously we had a red December. This is the first time ever that we had a red year in a post-halving year, which has never happened before, obviously. So that's a change to the 4-year cycle. This is the first time that we've ever had that. So people are, well, this is the first time that we had an all-time high before the halving. This is the first time, so many new firsts, yet people still are trying to hold on to the fact that there's a 4-year cycle. But there's no 4-year cycle. It's over. So it's just, it's frustrating to see people still trying to hold on to that hope. But it is what it is. People are who they are. And I guess, you know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes. So now we just got to figure out what going forward, what we're going to do with the markets that we're in. The other major story that I wanted to talk about, oh geez, this is the long-term holder net supply change over 30 days. So I know this chart's kind of blurry. Sorry about that. That's kind of crappy of me. That's my bad. I feel horrible. This is long-term holder selling. So, when we were talking about, Nick and I were talking about all those guys that were dumping massive amounts of Bitcoin on the market. This was something that has been happening since actually July. So they've been starting to sell. So you can see by this is the pink thing down here, and this is July. They've been dumping tons and tons and tons and tons of Bitcoin. We had that one guy with Mike Novogratz. They went over there and he's like, I need to sell 80,000 Bitcoin. And then they pumped it through him and he got a horrible fill. Mike made a bunch of money. They sold $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. It moved the price, but they dumped it inefficiently, actually. He could have dumped it a lot better. I'm thinking back. Anyway, they dumped 80,000 Bitcoin. And then multiple other wallets have been selling Bitcoin like crazy. And this big dip down is post October 10th when people really started to sell like crazy. And so then this is just this last week, we started to see that completely stop and shift. And now the long-term holder supply net positive change has started to shift positive. So that's a very good sign that they have stopped selling and they're starting to purchase more and more Bitcoin. Now,
hey Brandon, do you want to field that I'm not even sure if that's a question. I think it's some kind of fictional statement with a question baked into it. Do you want to approach that question?
What do we got? Is there any truth to the idea that Hypersec are going to have something good, some profit-making thing for us?
What idea was that,
is,
11? Was that an idea that went out yesterday that no one else got but you? Like, what are you talking about?
This is 11. So this is...
What are you talking about? Hey, Brandon, is there any truth to the idea that you were going to give me $18?
You know that. Well, I texted that.
What kind of fucking question is that? That's not a question. What idea? The idea that you made up? Then say, is there any truth to my just now made up idea? What are you even asking? Come on, guys. You guys got to be precise about your questions. Don't put this vague bullshit, which is your sentiment, with a fucking question wrapped around it. Don't act like third graders. Come on, man. Happy New Year. Fuck you. Quit asking stupid fucking questions for the new year. Start off 2026 without being a fucking retard. Next question. Jesus Christ. No wonder it's so hard to fucking win. You guys can't even ask a human fucking question without fucking it up. L11 would fuck up a wet dream.
I can't even. I can't even.
Let's see. I thought you said something about you guys. Yeah, but that's a separate thing. That has nothing to do with Hypercycle. Separate.
Oh my goodness.
If you have an actual question, ask an actual question. If you have a dumbass fucking personal emotional weirdness, just go say that to the mirror. Go say that to yourself. Use that for your internal dialogue. That's like, what is that, some shit they teach you when the cops walk up? You know how fast you were going? Is there any truth to the notion that you really want to give me a hug instead of a ticket? No. And now you're going to jail, motherfucker.
Are you fasting?
Yeah, it's almost done.
Josh is like, hey, should we ask Nick about this? I'm like, well, what? He's like, well, actually, he's like, he's not.
I figured out the trick to fasting.
What is it?
I think it's you start in the midday, because then what happens is that first day is not really like a day, because you can eat breakfast and lunch, right?
Yeah.
So you basically you eat a big breakfast and lunch, so you feel like you ate. So you get all the way to the next morning before you're even really fasting. And that's like 18 hours. Then all you have to really do is make it through those next 2 days. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I know. I think it's an easy play.
Okay, now that's a question. See, Lisa asked a real question. Well done, Lisa. Well done with your real question.
But I can't answer that. Is it ever going to pay off, or is it a dud? I don't know.
That's a legitimate question. There's just
no way. Ah,
Um,
anyway,
here's what I still believe with Hypercycle. Even if they as a company fail, their IP has value. So they would be potentially a company that someone else would buy just for their IP. So in that case, I still think it will pay off. I just don't know what that would look like. And I don't think they do either. I know that they put out a video that was talking about all the great things. You can make all this money from Hypercycle. That's awesome. Brandon, how much money have you made from Hypercycle notes?
dude, Hypercycle nodes have been brutal for me. I cannot figure out how to use them.
I
don't know how to make money from them.
I have not made money from them. I do
I
not
did
know
like-
how to make money from them. I don't know that anyone knows how to instruct us to make money from them. So there. Oh, wait. Oh, crap. I just realized. Wait, Brandon, no one else in the room with you can hear what I'm saying, can they?
No, I've
that's-
learned this. I was actually, we were in the car driving yesterday. All my kids were in the car. I'm like, I should call Nick. Oh wait, because it was on speakerphone. I'm like, no,
Right.
I should call Nick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Nick later.
That's when you put on your headphones while you're in the car. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't tell you guys to have earmuffs because you're too old.
Like, I'll call Nick later.
Okay, fun question. Okay, so see, Chris does it right. He leads with fun cue, meaning we're not going to expect much out of this question. See, he set the rules. He set.
It's a playground question,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Just
Where do
between
you
us
think-
bros.
Where do you think Bitcoin is at the end of 2026? And what do you think Bitcoin high price will be in 2026? I think 140 high finishes 26 at 130. That'd only be $3,000 more. I don't know that this idea of where it will finish. I think we have to get rid of that question. There's no way to know what the price will be 366 days from now. That's not a real question. That you don't know what the price is going to be today.
That's like throwing a dart 366 days before a moving dartboard is going to be swimming across your ocean. That's a
In
tough.
somewhere in the universe the size of a neutrino. Like, so I don't really think that's a thing. I think you would say, okay, you look for a high and you look for some range that you think it would finish the year at. Well, based on this last 3 months, I would say whatever we get that would be great during the spring and fall would shit the bed at Christmas time.
For no reason.
Yeah, for absolutely zero reason. And then at the end of the bed shitting, 3 months into it, Benjamin Cohen will come out and take credit for it. He'll then make the courageous call of a Bitcoin bear market.
The
After
historic.
3 fucking months of it. Like, it takes you 3 months to fucking key in. What a fucking clown. Anyway, I clowned him yesterday along with we have a new name for strategy.
Oh boy, what is it?
It's Stragedy.
Like a tragedy.
It might
Tragedy,
be-
yeah. Tragedy. I like that. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
S tragedy.
Tragedy.
Okay,
I like
so-
that.
Okay, so what do you think a 2026 high might look like? Because that's the real. I think that's a fair question.
Yeah, I think we have a good year next year. I think this little bear dip will be short lived. I think we're gonna get up. I think 150. I think 150.
I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, we were at 127.
Dude, we were at 127. And for Bitcoin to move 70 grand, dude, it can move 10 grand tonight.
You know,
And then you know,
I think the breakdown in private credit is bigger than we thought, and I think it has shaken a lot of not retail investors. The retail investors are gone. They are gone because the price is down. But I think new money not coming in is a function of private credit breaking down in a bad way, and I think people are very scared that there's a lot of lenders out there that were lending on bogus collateral and bogus auspices, meaning the fake deliverables, factoring firms and all that basically lie about what they're owed. So I think that was a big deal, and I think it was a bigger deal it was a bigger deal than we recognized in October because private credit started to really break down October 6th. We got beat up October 10th, and then from then on, straight on. I also think that the blow up at Binance was bigger and more detrimental than they would publicize. I think they got beat up real bad. I think there were all sorts of, they've settled with all sorts of people privately. I think Binance is the biggest exchange. If on the biggest exchange, you rape 90% of the clients, ain't no one left. Like, do you, Brandon, do you watch Fallout?
No, we started season 1.
It's good.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Anyway, you should watch it. But there's a line in season 2 where this girl's giving this other girl advice, and she says, "Be careful around here. I don't want you to get raped by the wrong people." What happened on Binance is a lot of investors got destroyed, and I don't think they came back. So I think the Binance damage was the main damage to the retail market. I think private credit's been the main damage to the entire market. And I think a worldwide recession is the reason why retail is not jumping into the ETFs. They made money early in the year and they're deucing out. Fallout is on Amazon, I think. Prime.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's Prime. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's dark and violent, but it's good. It's based on the game. But for a game rendition of a show, it's cool. Yeah. So,
well, the inverse to this question is, I think we've reached kind of a bottoming area in Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to go below. A lot of people are still calling for $50,000 Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to hit that though. I think we're going to stabilize. I don't think we're going to drop much below 80, if at all.
I think 80 was the limit.
Yeah, we're looking. Well, look at the last 40 days. We've been sitting in this zone for 40 days. And I think if it would have dropped, it would have dropped, but I don't
know. Let's see. Do you think the Clarity Act will shift the availability of exchanges for U.S. residents, i.e. Binance become available to U.S. residents? I don't know. I don't know enough about the intricacies of the Clarity Act to give any kind of real answer.
Do you want to go to Binance though, Beth? For example, I look at this. I'm like, I don't want to use Binance. Like, I wouldn't use them.
I would.
Why? No, I'm not going to use Binance.
No, I would use them for purchases of weird assets that I can't get through a wallet. But these days, the cool thing is just about everything is swappable, intuable.
Yeah, I get everything off DeFi. Easy.
You don't really need centralized exchanges anymore. But Binance was awesome. Binance is where you got stuff. The spreads are tight. It's very liquid.
They do have a lot of liquidity, don't they?
They got a lot of liquidity.
They got, well, some would say the most liquidity.
Yeah. Even after 90% of the people got raped and pillaged.
Yep, exactly. Interesting strategy. We're going to talk about this in 2026. Any other investments that we're going to be considering, that we're going to be going through this probably at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I also thought it might be a fun thing to start the fresh year, each of us with X amount, and see if we finish with X amount.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So like Nick's $10,000 portfolio.
Okay.
And then you tell us what you're buying in your portfolio versus mine, and we change the percentages, throughout the year and see where you end up at. Type of thing. I thought that might be interesting. So we might do something like that, where a little friendly, not so much a competition, just see where things end up. Because I think there could be little trades made here and there, because we will change. So right now it's more Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Nick could weight his Bitcoin and Ethereum differently than I weight my Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll put that on the portfolio and show those changes and gains. And then when we exit those positions, we could just kind of show those. And when we start swapping into altcoins, if there's ever a time, which there very well could be, then we'll show that as well. So Yes. There's one more thing that I want to talk about before we go behind the wall. Did you see this? Oh my gosh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a Republican. She's the congresswoman in Georgia. Let me see. Yeah, Georgia. Okay. Anyway, she's calling for a tax revolt.
What? So she's trying to go to jail? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she's not calling for. She's saying it's going to happen in 2026.
That people are just not gonna pay?
A national tax revolt is underway. Everyone is fed up after the Minnesota thing and some other things. Obviously, a whole bunch of people are thinking about not, and this is like gaining traction. Like there's people with millions of followers and stuff supposedly, right?
Let's put this motherfucker in the bud right now. We will be paying taxes.
Oh, 100%. Dude, this is crazy. Oh, 100%.
And you
100%.
should too. Because don't give these assholes a reason to fuck your life up.
Yep. No, you got it. I'm just gonna go through the hypothetical.
Okay.
What if this happened just like the Boston Tea Party? We throw our tea in the ocean and nobody pays taxes this year. What would happen? What would be the recourse?
Nothing.
What? How would they get their? They don't need the revenue, right?
They don't need the tax money. The tax money equates to like 2 days of government spending.
Yeah.
It's dust.
So would people just not have to pay taxes ever again?
No. People would be in a lot of trouble.
Like the whole United States.
Every single person. We're going to get the whole United States to say no because rich people will pay.
That wasn't the hypothetical.
Oh,
the hypothetical is nobody pays.
Nobody
pays.
Then they just keep doing what they do. They just keep printing money, and
So it's a win.
Although it would destroy the treasury market.
If
taxpayers said, "I'm not paying tax," the government debt market would instantly collapse.
Whew. The fallout would be biblical. So it would actually ruin the economy from that point.
No, Barry, the money printer has never gone burr. You guys get that, right? He's just being stupid.
Burr.
That's just some New Year's Eve stupidity.
I would say probably definitely pay your taxes. But this year, it doesn't matter anyway. It's like I was talking about before. You guys all have a good tax year because you can harvest.
Yeah.
Like almost no gains for those of you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to have a pretty bad. I was before going to have to give someone a Ferrari, but now I'm not.
Well, as of now, maybe in October, but today's a win.
Yeah. October, it was looking rough. Now, I'm on 4th Street, bro.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. No more $300 steaks for me. I've actually never had a $300 steak. I don't even know what that would be.
Dude,
I've had an $85 steak.
An $85 steak, you have a diminishing rate of return past 85. You know what?
You spend 100, 150, 200, 7,000, whatever, makes no difference. It's no better. It's no more delicious.
No, you can't get that money. You can't get another $7,000 better value out of a $7,000 steak. You can't. Anyway, let's go behind the wall. Let's talk about shop. Let's talk about money changes going in the new year, and then we can rock it from there. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah.
Okay, let's touch some buttons.
That's what we're going to do.
We're going to go here, then here, then here. We're going to go over here. We're going to go like this. Put this here. Go right here and touch this. you.